Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode I'm going to be installing 240 volt hookup to the outside of my van. So that means I have to cut a hole in the side of the van and install this little box, which will then allow me to connect to a 240 volt hookup, which is your domestic power supply. So if you're parked up outside your house or you're at a caravan camping site, you can then hook up with the 240 volt domestic power supply and power your onboard leisure batteries. I'm going to install this today and wire it in. You need a jigsaw with a very fine blade for cutting steel, so you can actually see how fine those teeth are. And also what you want is some masking tape, and then what you do is you put masking tape on the end of it, because if you don't put masking tape on the end of it, what happens is the surface of the jigsaw, this surface, will end up scratching your paintwork on your van, and obviously you don't want scratches all over your van, especially on the side. No one's going to be looking at on the roof of your van, but I still put it on for the install of the fans, and also it makes it a lot smoother. So you can see if you put the tape on the bottom, it seems to glide along a lot easier than if you just have sometimes it can get stuck, because if it starts scraping or causing marks on the van, well then it starts to get stuck. Okay, so that's taken care of. That will mean I won't have any marks on the side of my van. I'm going to keep it at this level here. I know what the height of it is already, and it's just come in here from the light 7 inches and then mark it out. Next thing to do, get a little bit of white spirits, just clean it up. Next thing to do is to rust proof it with some gold hammerite. The next step is to hook up the wiring into the back of this 220/240 volt hookup, and the way you do that is you take off this covering on the back like this. That comes off fairly easy, and then on the back of this you have, I don't know if you can see that, but you have live/plus, and then that's on the left side. Then on the right side you just have a normal hole, and then you have at the bottom you have another hole, and that's the earth sign. So that's symbol for earth, the one on the bottom here. So this one is, the one on the left is live, so that's brown, The one on the right is neutral, which is blue, and the one on the bottom is earth, which is the yellow and green cable, I think. First thing to do is to strip the 3/4 cable, and I'm going to do that using a Stanley knife just to get the outside sheath off, and gently go around it like so. Then that should peel off like so. Slide off. There you go. Then the next part is you have to expose the copper and the end of these 3 pipes, these wires, and then the brown will go in this one, which is the live. The blue will go in the right one, which is the neutral, into that one, neutral, and then the ground, which is the green and yellow, will go into the bottom one. I'm going to use this to strip the wire. There we go. Let's see what that's like. Then you just loosen the side screw. Okay, so that's all hooked up now. We have the brown to the live, the blue to the neutral, and then the yellow and green to the earth. And the live is indicated on the plastic. I don't know if you can see that, but it says L/+, which means live, and that's the symbol for live. And then you have the symbol for neutral, sorry, not neutral, earth, which is the yellow and the green cable, and that's at the bottom, and that's like an upside down Christmas tree. So now I'm gonna secure this to the outside of the van using these self-tapping screws at the end of them. So they should just tap in, tap, tap, and they are 25 mil. So what I'm going to do is feed in this cable to the inside of the van. So that's a nice snug fit. This is the 240 volt from the inside. You can see those 25 mil self-tapping screws have gone in nicely there, and it's fitting, looking nice. So what I'm going to do now is just put on this cover, and then that should be ready to hook up to my 3-way consumer unit. That's the finished article. That is now 240 volt hook up to the side of the van. Above that I have got a socket 240 volt, which means that once I hook this into my consumer unit, I'm then going to have a 240 volt socket here that I can use from the back of the van so when I have the doors open, and if we ever need 240 for whatever reason, it's there in the back of the van. And that's basically it. That's this episode complete. I now have 240 volt hookup connected to the side of my van, and the next step is to then connect that to my consumer unit, which will then power the different outlet sockets in the living area. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below this video. Also, if you want to follow along with the van build series, click the bell icon and that will send you an automatic notification of future videos in the van build series. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Slán go fóill.